Welcome to Peaceful Warrior Yoga. And we'll start today's class with a moving centering. So sometimes we sit still and let everything fall away. But today what we'll do is we'll start with some movement. So if you come onto all fours, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, a little cat and cow. And I want you to grow into cat and cow. So start gently and use those first gentle iterations to feel the spine and the neck, the tailbone, the low back, the abdominals. And also to synchronize breathing with the movement. Exhale as you round the back. Inhale as you extend the back. And then widen the knees and gently let the hips come back to the heels. Drop the elbows to the floor, the head to the floor or fists. Feel child's pose. And then gently reach the arms out in front of you like you're trying to stretch. And then as you stretch, walk the hands out until the hips come up over the knees. And then keep walking out like you're a puppy dog stretching out. Let the chest come down towards the ground. Walk the hands back to cat and cow. So that small sequence, cat and cow, back to child, walk out to puppy stretch, and back to cat and cow. So keep going. Stay in any sequence as long as feels good to you. Using this time to warm the body, stretch the body, coordinate the breathing. And also to decide which of the stretches feels most delicious for you in this moment. Feels like the right direction for you. And the next time you come to cat and cow, extend the right leg back and drop the ball of the foot, press out through the heel bone. Get a nice big stretch there. And then simply lift that leg up. Roll the right hip towards the floor. So you create this straight line from the heel, the top of the heel, all the way to the top of the right shoulder. So you feel an isometric containment to prevent the hip rolling too high. This is what it looks like if the hip rolls too high. You tend to lift the leg up and the hip up. So we're purposely containing that movement. And then bring the knee towards the face as if you're trying to kiss your kneecap. And then extend back out. Now, if you like, you can add the left arm here. So you extend the right leg and the left arm, feeling that diagonal bird dog. And then a bird dog crunch, knee to face, elbow to navel. That's it. Good. And this should be starting to warm the body up a little bit here. As an option on the next extension, you can pause and hold, feeling the isometric work of the core to stabilize the spine. Or if you'd like to add a little bit of stretch here, you can bend the right knee and capture the right foot and pull back on the quadricep. Lengthen the quadricep. Carefully release into child pose. And then extend into puppy stretch. Walk the hands back to cat and cow. And then extend the left leg back and push through the heel bone so you get that nice, delicious calf muscle stretch. So the stretching should also be warming the body. Keep the left hip rolled to the left. And you'll know if it's rolled to the left because your toes on the left foot will be pointing to the floor, not out to the side. Knee to head crunch. Good. Add the right arm at any time if you want. Double crunch. And then you can bend the left knee and capture the foot if you like to add that quadricep stretch component. Exhale, release to child. Extend to puppy stretch. Walk the hands back to tabletop, and this time curling the toes, lift the knees, push the hips back. Now keep the knees bent here, bring the knees forward towards the mat. We call this bear pose. So the knees are hovering just an inch or two above the mat, and then push the hips back, keeping the knees bent. Forward, back, forward. Now this time when you come back, move towards your downward dog, pushing the heels towards the mat. Push the hands into the mat so you keep pushing backwards. And then lift the right foot high to the sky, three-legged dog. Step the right foot to the right hand and drop the left knee. Keep the hands on the mat under the heart. And point the toes of that left foot so you feel that stretching out your hip flexor here. Good. That's it. If you lean forward into the hands, you feel a stretch in the hip flexor slowly increase. And then push the hips back, rounding the back, dropping the head. So it's like you're doing cat and cow here. Lean forward, lift the head up. Exhale, push the hips back, round the tailbone, drop the head. Good. Now if you have blocks handy, you can grab your blocks. Blocks can be a helpful prop here.
So you can do the same movement with hands on blocks. And you might find that gives you a little more range of motion. And if you tune into the backwards movement, you start to feel your hamstring stretch out. And as you move backwards, lift the toes of that front foot, stretching the hamstring more, and as you come forward, drop the toes. So we're slowly increasing the range of motion here in a dynamic way. Now the next time we come back, we're going to come all the way back, walking the hands and blocks back. Taking the weight into the arms at first until you can sink down to that back heel. So your arms will protect those movements. You can explore here. Can you lean forward and walk the hands forward? If that's too much for your left foot, come back to the blocks. Good. Play around here between those positions. So it's going to depend on your body today, what feels safe. Now slowly walk the hands and blocks back to that original position and coming to what we call dragon pose. Hands on the floor, lifting the gaze up. And with hands or blocks, you can walk your hands or blocks to the left, coming into a rotation here. And then walk them to the right, rotation the other direction. Come back to center. And raise the torso, head over shoulders, shoulders over hips. You can pad that back knee if that back knee is starting to feel too much. Lift the hands into kneeling warrior. Rotate to the left. Bringing the arms parallel. You'll notice my back arm is not parallel. I have an injury to my shoulder here, so I'm just taking it easy. And then the other direction. So getting lots of twisting in today, bringing up kneeling warrior to the center. And once again, twisting warrior to the left. And then the right. Come back through kneeling warrior. Bring your hands to the blocks and curl the toes of the left foot and lift the left knee. So you're coming into a runner's stretch here. Big long stretch. Push that heel back. Good. Now we're down fairly low here. And we're going to position the feet ready to take the weight into the legs. For standing warrior one, back heel lifted, feet on railroad tracks, nice and wide, front knee bent. Now push down with that front foot, embrace the core, and slowly raise the torso up into warrior one. Twisting warrior, turning to the left. Come through warrior one, and then anti-twist. Back through warrior one, and step back downward dog. Woo! Nice one. Hopefully that brought the body's temperature up. Notice how warrior one feels. Oh, sorry, downward dog feels right now.
Lift the left leg high to the sky, three-legged dog. Big step forward, drop the right knee, keep the hands on the mat. Point the toes of that right foot. Round the back, and then arch the back. Round the back, head drops, hips come back. Arch the back, weight comes forward, lift the head. Feeling the range of motion slowly grow as the muscles on this side start to lengthen. Use the blocks to extend the range of motion. The blocks remain stationary, but because the hands are elevated, the range of motion in the stretch starts to extend. Exaggerate the rolling of the back by lifting the front toes, getting more stretch in the hamstring on that left side. Hopefully you're feeling the release in the low back as you do this over time. And the next time you come back, we're going to walk the hands with blocks all the way back. Slowly bringing the buttocks down onto that back foot. Use the arms to protect that back foot. Unless it feels good, you can bring the weight forward, head down towards the knee. Good. And you can adjust between those two positions, hands back on blocks or hands forward, head down. Just once again, feeling what's safe for your body. The next time you come up, walk your hands and blocks forward, hands to the mat, lifting the gaze, pointing the back toes, feel dragging on this side. And then you can walk the hands or blocks to the right, coming into a rotation. Good. And then to the left. Coming back to center. Raise the torso up, kneeling warrior. Left hand forward, right hand back, twisting, kneeling warrior. Back through kneeling warrior and then rotation the other side. Coming back. Once again, twisting each side. Really getting the twisting muscles back through center. Center, bring the weight down to your blocks or the mat. Curl the toes of the back foot, lifting that back knee. So we're transferring the weight now
into the legs in a different way. Preparing for warrior one. Brace the core, float the torso up, head over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Twisting to the right. Good. And then through center to the left. Back through center. Step back, downward dog. And then when you're ready, drop the knees, come to child pose and relax. And then coming up onto your back, knees together, TP pose. Have a block or bolster handy. In TP pose, turn the head to the left. Just check your cervical spine. Bring the head to neutral and then turn the head to the right. Inhale the head to neutral. And then bring the knees apart, feet together. So you're opening the knees out to the side. Just press the feet strongly together, and as you do, lift the hips up. So you feel an engagement through the buttocks as you lift up into this butterfly bridge. Slowly lower the hips. Keep the feet together, but lift the feet off the ground. Lift the head off the ground. Feel this crunch. And then reach your hands down and grab your feet and pull them in towards you. If you cannot reach the feet, grab a strap around the feet. Push the feet into the hands until you feel your shoulders stretch and the upper back stretch. Lay the head down. Peel the feet apart into happy baby. Bring the feet back together and slowly lower them to the floor, back into your butterfly. Push the feet together and lift the hips, butterfly bridge. So buttocks off the ground, pushing the feet together. Slowly lower the hips, lift the feet, squeeze together, lift the head, reach for the feet, push feet into hands, pull against the feet, shoulders away from the neck, chin towards the chest. Peel the feet away into happy baby, lowering the head. Feet together. Knees out. Slowly lower the feet with control. So you use eccentric core strength here to lower the legs to the floor. Push the feet together. Lift the hips up. Lower with control. Pick the feet up, pick the head up, grab the feet. So you know the sequence now. Feel that nice stretch away from the shoulders and neck. Peel the feet apart, happy baby. Massage out the back. You can rock side to side. Feet together with control. Let go of the hands, lower the feet. Slowly, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze, lift up. Butterfly bridge. Lower with control. Feet up, head up. Crunch, reach, push. Good. Peel apart, happy baby, with control. Ooh. Rock from side to side. And then do one more round on your own. All meeting in happy baby. Now release the hands but keep the happy baby legs. Push the right heel to the sky so you feel that right leg stretch out, heel to heaven. Come back to happy baby. So no hands involved here. In fact, bring the hands behind the head. Straighten the left leg to the sky. Happy baby legs. Right foot straight. Bend. Left foot straight. If you want to add a little more warmth to this, lift the head up into a crunch as you do this. Support the head with the hands. So it's going to give you a nice core strength work there. Now the next time you come to happy baby, both legs go up. Both legs bend. Both legs up. Bend. Up. 3, 2. Last one. And then slowly lower the head. Lower the feet. That should feel warm. Walk the feet back in towards you so you can touch the heels of the feet. Lift the toes, and as you lift the toes, push down with the heels so you lift the hips. So you feel your bridge here. Walk your shoulders closer to the heels. And then lift the heels up and down. So you're doing calf muscle raises here. Up and down. Up and down. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now lift up and hold up. Walk the shoulders even closer now, so you're really arching the back. And see if you can wrap your hands around the shins and ankles. If you cannot, use a strap. Now the goal here is to not let go, is to hold on tight, and as you do, walk your shoulders back until your heels can touch the ground without breaking the grip. So you're in a bound bridge. Oh. Squeeze, push down with the heels, hold the grip for 5, 4, 3, 2, release the grip, walk the shoulders back a little more, lower the hips slowly, knees together, feet apart, TP. Separate the knees hip width distance apart and lift up the knees until the shins are parallel to the mat, toes curled back. Lift the head up and pull back on the knees and push the head between the knees. Come into a tight crunch. Extend the arms out towards the feet and reach the right hand to the right foot and then the left hand to the left foot. So you're alternating, crunching side to side as you reach for those feet. 3, 2, 1. Now lower the head slowly with control. Keep the knees up. Hands out to the side, 90 degrees. Palms down. With control here, let the knees float to the left. And then back through center. And then to the right. Keep control. Don't let the legs just drop. Using control, left side, back through center, right side. And see if you can increase the range of motion slowly. The goal here is to bring the bottom leg all the way to the ground. If possible. If you have a restriction with that, I'd like to see you put a blanket or a cushion underneath the leg that doesn't reach the ground. You could use a block here as well. So you just want it to be able to touch momentarily before you swing it to the other side with control. Feeling those lumbar muscles lengthen slowly until your left leg comes all the way to one side, to the left, and rests on the ground, or a block, or a cushion. And use the same arm, the left arm, to pull down on the right knee if there's any space between the right knee and the left knee. Holding the lumbar twist, gently turn the head from side to side. The next time the head comes to neutral, release the knee and come back onto your back. And with control, sway side to side once again. And just notice if the stretched out side feels any different from the side we haven't held the static spinal twist on. Now remembering the goal here is to get to the right side, right leg down and support it and hold. Once you've found that position, keeping the arms outstretched, the right hand this time can assist the left knee down. Oh yeah. Head rotations here carefully. So think of the neck rotations as a very tiny tip of the iceberg on top of the spine. Gentle and careful. And then slowly releasing, head to neutral, knees back up. Float the feet back to the floor. Knees together, feet apart, TP pose. And then feet together, knees apart, butterfly. Clasp the hands under the head. And we'll move from this double butterfly opening to double butterfly close. So bring the knees together, push the low back into the mat, lift the heads, and wrap the forearms around the skull. Squeeze into this curl up fetal ball. Lift both feet up, crunch up into a little ball, bring the elbows to the knees, knees to the elbows, hold the crunch. And then with control, lower the head back down, open up into double butterfly once again. Close the butterfly wings, knees together, lift the head, push the low back into the mat, wrap the forearms, knees to elbows, elbows to knees, and hold the crunch. With control, release. Double butterfly. Close the butterfly. Lift the head. Lift the knees. Crunch up. With control, open butterfly. Should be warming you up. Close butterfly, lift, crunch. With control, open butterfly, release the head, hands beside the hips, knees out, feet together. No, knees out, that's it. Push the feet together, lift the hips, butterfly bridge. Lower with control, keep the feet together, lift the feet, lift the head, reach for the feet. Push feet against hands, hands against feet. And then open up to happy baby, come down with control. Rock from side to side. Come back to your back. Come down onto your back. Grab a block or a bolster. Lift the hips up and put the bolster underneath that low back, that buttocks area. So you feel a nice, comfortable, supported bridge here. Lift one foot into the air and then the other. So feeling this supported shoulder stand. Straddle the legs. Bring the hands to the inner thighs, grip the inner thighs, lift the head up and look down between the straddled legs. With control, lower the head, bring the feet back together, point and flex the feet, rotate the feet in each direction, straddle the legs, grip the inner thighs, come into your abdominal crunch here, looking down between the thighs. Lower the head with control, bring the feet together, and once again point and flex the feet. Rotate the feet in each direction. Straddle and crunch. Now in this crunch you're going to bend the knees, floppy shin, hold the crunch, and then extend. Flop, extend. 5. If at any time your head or neck hurts, you can support it with one arm, so there's no strain in the neck. Two more. And then gently lower the head, feet straight up. Now you can continue to play with supported bridge, or you can bring the hands, palms down beside the buttocks, push into the buttocks, lift the buttocks off the block, bend the elbows and support the low back with your hands. So you're up into a half shoulder stand here. Notice how that feels. So I'm feeling some strain in my left shoulder doing this, so I have to adjust. And from here, play. You can come back to your bolster with care at any time, making sure that as you bring the legs down, you bring your head up to control with your core. You can come all the way over to the back, feet touching the floor behind you into snail pose if you like. Or using a chair, you can rest the feet on a chair. You can come into half shoulder stand. And for those who can, full shoulder stand, where the feet over the knees, over the hips, over the head. It's a little more challenging. So play as long as you like here. You can experiment with straddled legs or legs together. Good. Take another minute or so until you're back on your bolster or block. Now, if at any time you want to come off your bolster or block, please do. I'm going to stay on mine and cross your left ankle over your right ankle. And see if you can reach down and grab your feet, grab your toes. Now, as you grab your toes, pull the feet back in towards your legs and drop your knees towards the floor carefully and with control. Keep gripping the feet. Your feet might touch the ground, your knees might touch the ground, they might not, but you're getting a big stretch through the abdominals here. Keep gripping the feet if you can. Remember, you can always come off the block or bolster at any time if that feels safer. Slowly come back up. And we're going to change the cross of the ankle. So right ankle over left, grab the toes once again. Crunch up. And then slowly extend the knees away from the head. Holding the feet the whole time. Feeling the back bend here. Oh yeah. Slowly release the feet, stand the feet on the mat or floor. Lift the hips and remove your bolster or block. Come down with control. Bring the knees up towards the ribs. Hug the knees into the ribs. Grab the kneecaps and turn the knees in a circle. Passive hips. Use the arms to make the circle. So massaging out the low back. Other direction. And then crossing right knee over left knee. Push the low back into the mat and lift up into a crunch. Grab your knees and pull the knees in towards the head. Slide the hands down to the ankles or feet. If you cannot reach one of your feet, use a strap. Pull them back in, but hold your crunch. Keep holding the feet as you lower the head. Keep squeezing the feet towards your hips. Keep holding the feet and slowly let the knees drop away from the head towards the floor. So very similar to what we did on the block, except this time we're not on the block. So the bottom knee trying to find the floor, the top knee trying to find the bottom knee. Come back onto your back a little more, bring the knees up again. Now keep the knees locked, keep the knees locked. But drop the right foot to the ground only so you have floppy shin here, floppy shin. The top shin flops up and down, but you're in locked knees, that's it. Bring the arms out 90 degrees, palms down. Stop the flop. Walk the bottom foot a little closer to your buttocks as you push down. So you're lifting the hips again, but only one foot's on the ground. Roll onto the right hip and come into a lumbar twist with knees locked. Gently turn the head from one side to the other slowly. And see if you can find a position that feels really good. And hold that position. Slowly come onto your back, knees up, uncross and hug those knees once again. Keep pushing the lower back into the mat, come into a crunch, and this time you're going to cross the right knee over the left knee and squeeze your knees in that crunch. So opposite side, you should feel the opposite hip, opposite glute getting a stretch here. Slide the hands down towards the feet. Pull the feet in, hold the crunch. Lower the head, hold the squeezing of the feet so you keep that right glute nice and stretched. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And now slowly let the knees fall away from you once again. This time the left knee coming towards the ground first. Right knee following. Now lift the knees, lift the head and hold the crunch once again, keeping the knees locked. And with control, drop the left foot to the floor, lower the head and come into floppy shin. So left foot's on the floor, you're flopping the shin. Knees are still locked, you're on your back, arms out 90 degrees. Walk the feet back a little closer, push down, lift up into your bridge, one-legged bridge. And remember, from here we're going to roll onto the left hip into that final twist on this side. Do some head rotations as you feel fit. And find the neck position that feels really good. Stay here as long as you like. And when you're ready, come onto your back into Shavasana. Just make sure if you're in Shavasana to stay warm. Now you can stay in Shavasana as long as you would like. And when you're ready, you can carefully make your way up to a final seat. Notice how you feel. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.